Alright. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zae. Cut it. Alright, welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name is Zae, and if you are new here, what we do here is we pick a word and we talk about it. And we relate it to life because life is relatable. That is what we do. And so, I'm going to dive right into it and give you guys a little taste of some medicine for all my peoples out there that need it. Okay? So I actually have a story. So I'm going to tell that story after we talk about the word today. The word is stress. Alright? Something everyone goes through. Something we have to learn how to manage, or so they say. Okay? So, let's look at really what it is first. Stress. Strain, pressure, importance, emphasis, special force on a syllable, to strain, to accent, emphasize. Okay? Let me say that again. Strain, pressure, importance, emphasis, stress. Notice that none of those definitions are bad. None of those are undesirable. Alright? It's just strain. It's just pressure. It's just importance. Okay? That's all that stress is. Okay? So when we talk about stress as something to get away from, we are devaluing the importance of how we are feeling at that moment. And how you feel is always valid. Okay? So let's deal with that first before, we go off denoting things that might actually serve us. Alright? So what causes stress? I think there are like 3 pillars. Not like 3 pillars. I do think there are 3 pillars. So either you're stressed about something that happened in the past, you are stressed about something that is going to happen in the future, or something you think is going to happen in the future, or you are stressed at the present value that the stressor is offering. Okay? And what do I mean by present value? What is that? What are you talking about? Why would we value something that stresses us out? Alright? I will be the first to raise my hand and tell you that anything that stresses you out, you should go and seek. You should move toward it. Okay? Because it is telling you what discrepancy lies within your psychological framework, and it is giving you a clue to fix it. Alright? To readjust it, reorganize it, make it better, create something new, and reinvent yourself. Alright, baby? So let's do a little bit of that. Alright? Because that's what it's all about here. Doing things with ease, reinventing ourselves, seeking the answers that we need. Alright? And stress is the pressure that allows us to do that. When you put self-inflicted stress upon yourself, what you're essentially doing is holding yourself to a higher standard, or you're making a covenant with yourself that you're going to go through the motions of this particular thing, event, okay, feeling, and you're going to come out stronger on the other side. Alright? That's how I look at stress. It's a pact with myself. Alright? So we have to look at stress as something that is valued. It's something that needs to be paid attention towards. That's why they call it pay attention, because you are spending energy to add tension. Alright? So always remember that. Let me get into the story. So I was about 9 or 10 years old, and it was my first realization of a stressor and my first inclination to actually accept it and deal with what was right in front of me. So me and my sister, we fought a bit, you know, as we were younger, and just like any siblings do, really. And so one day we were sitting at the dinner table, and she picked up a popcorn shrimp and she threw it at my face. Right, I'm eating peacefully, minding my own business. All right, so she threw a popcorn shrimp in my face. My first inclination in my 9 to 10-year-old mind was to pick the popcorn shrimp up, put it into my mouth, and put it back onto her plate, which I successfully accomplished. All right, that accomplishment was coupled with a scream that sounded like she was about to die or something. And she runs upstairs and she goes and tells my parents, and my parents are furious. All right, so as soon as she tells them, I hear like a what, you know, and then I hear this jingle, the sound of the favorite belt that my mom used to use. It was a leather belt. It had like aluminum rings in it. All right, my butt was about to get toe up, but in that moment, I was completely okay with the past decision I had made. I was completely okay with what was to come. All right, and I was valuing the present, valuing what was going on right then and there, because even though the stress was within me, I was able to hold it away from me. I was able to gracefully walk my behind up them stairs and take that beating. Okay. And the reason I say I was able to gracefully do that was because there was no fear. There was no fear of what was to come. There was no fear or shame in what I had done. All right, there was a complete acceptance of that present moment. All right, so there was none of that. And so I walked myself upstairs, I bent over, I took that butt whooping, and I didn't cry for like the first 7 swings. All right, usually up until it was like the first swing, but like for the first 7 swings I was just stone cold, baby. I was like, what we doing? All right, because that pain, we already talked about pain, that stress, all right, the importance of that moment was realized internally. So I was able to deal with that, handle it gracefully, you know, and take myself into that bubble. And so that was one of the stories. It's a bit more, it's a bit gross in nature because it's dealing with a real, it's dealing with a level of pain that could, you know, stress someone out, you know, because no one wants to experience pain. But that gross lesson, and I mean gross as in like kind of, you know, secular, tangible, that tangible lesson was the foundation for me to understand more subtle intricacies of stress and how the mind works. Because see, the mind is going to constantly add stuff to it. It's always going to want to identify itself with something. Like if you saw an ant on the side of the road, right, and you just walking, and you're like, I don't really care about that ant, you know, like I'm just walking, I'm minding my business, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing whatever, you know. But if you were having a picnic and the ant was on your triple-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich, well now the ant has to die because that's your sandwich that the ant was on trying to eat. Okay, so the mind, what the mind identifies itself with is what it's going to be stressed out about or not stressed out about. So yeah, let's look at stress for what it is, not for what we don't want it to be. Okay, because when you focus your mind on something that it doesn't want, it will inevitably seek the thing that it is focused on not wanting. So inevitably, you will be thinking about stress if you say, okay, I don't want to be stressed out anymore, all right? But looking at stress from the definition of importance, from the definition of pressure, from the definition of emphasis, okay, we can see that that is something that, well, at least us seekers, that is something we want more of. We want more pressure. We want more emphasis. We want more importance in our lives. That's how we live, all right? That's why my mom, she asked me, why are you constantly doing these things to yourself? Always like making things harder on yourself. Because I'm seeking. That's what I am. If I were just to be complacent in how I am right now, I would not be growing. If I were just to live a life of of or myopic freaking originality or unoriginality, just, you know, boring, then I couldn't stand myself, honestly, if I looked in the mirror. All right, so I have to constantly put pressure on myself. I have to constantly have stress on me. All right, because really, really, it stems from a desire to want something. If you want something, if you have a desire, and you know that, obviously, you know it's not within your reach right now, but you know it's something that could be in your reach, it's something that you can attain, and you feel it within yourself that that's something that you really, really want, you have to exert pressure onto yourself in order to get it. You have to exert stress. All right, so let's accept stress for what it is. All right, let's maximize our attention towards it. Okay, and let's practice. We practice being aware of our inner sensations, being aware that it is an emotion. All right, and then being aware that we can hold it in a space that is away from us. We can hold it close to us. All right, if we need to, that's okay too. All right, but let's look at it for what it is. All right, so that, I believe, is all I got for y'all. I hope this blesses you. I hope y'all meditate on this. All right, take stress, use it as a guide to point you into the right direction of the things that you feel you are lacking and what you can work on and what you can become better at. Use it as a guide. All right, that's all I got for y'all. All right, my name is Zay. Y'all know how we do things. We do things with ease on this side. Make sure y'all gently press that like button, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a blessed day. All right.